Okay, good day everyone. So now we are going to start with our module 2 on mathematical language and symbols. So you're still with me, Gracie Lamano, your instructor for this subject. And so for today, we are going to start with section 1, mathematics as a language. So um, as we all know, mathematics also has something to do with communication, then therefore, we can also consider mathematics as a language in itself. So, are you familiar with this? Ayan. So, you can see at the first part, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we have symbols and so on. So, I'm sure you have encountered some of this, if not all, in your years as a student in junior high school or even in elementary. And I hope that you are able to identify these symbols. So, these are all mathematical symbols, and these are all what we're going to use when we transform um, sentences, phrases na alam natin in English or we use in day-to-day expressions, and then we can also transform them into mathematical language. So, kaya nga, 'di ba, yung sa last lesson natin, we were talking about the nature of mathematics or mathematics in nature. We understand nature based on its patterns, and so sa mathematics din ngayon na di-discuss natin, we are going to focus on the language in itself. So, tinatransform na natin yung knowledge that we get from sentences, from observations into symbols and using these numbers. So, let us discover about the mathematical language. But first, story time muna tayo. Yan. So, sana ay familiar kayo dito. So, very, very short story lang naman. We have the Tower of Babel. So, this is one of the famous stories in the Bible. So, if you are someone who also reads the Bible or you are aware of this story, then I hope that you can also relate to this. Okay? So, this story is about constructing a tower able to reach its top to heaven, the kingdom of God. At first, the construction of a tower is smoothly being done since all of the workers have only one and only one language. But God disrupted the work of the people, making their language different from each other. There were a language barrier, and the people were confused what the other people are talking about, resulting to the tower was never finished and the people were spread in all over the different places of the earth. Yan. So, sa Bible, if you can read on that, or maybe if you can search on the story of the Tower of the Babel, you would be able to see the more details on this. Kasi parang ang nangyayari is tina-challenge nila or yung sarili nila, and they are thinking na kaya nilang malampasan o marating ang kingdom of God through constructing the tower. They were working with each other. They were almost able to do it, but then God intervened and showed them that with this language barrier, kung hindi ninyo maiintindihan ang isa't isa, hindi ninyo matatapos yan. And so, this leads us to the question: what is the most important thing that people should have in order to accomplish a certain task? Ano nga ba? Yan. So, the most important thing is language. Language is what we use to communicate. And when we communicate, we convey ideas. We get to tell people what we think. We get to tell people what we want to happen. And then we can work with each other to achieve on what we want to happen. So here next, I have a short video about math. And I hope that you can appreciate mathematics through this video. Maikli lang, so please pay attention.
The world is made of ideas, and the only way to share these ideas is to speak the same language. But what if we wanted to engage in a discussion with the stars and the universe? What insights could we gain by listening to the echoes of Big Bang or feeling the pulse of our own planet? What if there was a language that helps us understand the physics that thrusts planes into the sky and the science of feeding 7 billion people? What if understanding the patterns in chemistry meant finding a cure to malaria or cancer? What if we already live in the future, augmented by the tools we created? The language of maths has given us ones and zeros, and they in turn have given us the internet and artificial intelligence. We are shrinking time and space to connect with each other and to power our economies. And only by working together, sharing ideas across borders and continents, and only by speaking the same language can we take on the world's greatest challenges. So, if you're still wondering what the world really needs, it needs you to speak its language. And that language is maths.
There you have it. So, what the world truly needs, it needs you to speak its language, and that is maths. So, in the UK, kasi mathematics or math is called maths, while in US it's maths. So, don't be confused about that. So, basically, this video shows us the wonder of what we can be able to achieve through understanding and speaking the mathematical language. A lot of professions is based on math, and to really be able to invent, to improve, to innovate, we need to understand math and we need to speak the language of math. So I hope that you are ready to do that, right? So, what are the characteristics of mathematical language? Hmm? Really? Yeah, and so the language of mathematics makes it easy to express the kinds of thoughts that mathematicians like to express. So there is a way for the mathematicians, or the mathematicians had discovered and communicated as a way of how to express their thoughts through this language. So how do we characterize the mathematical language? First, it is precise, able to make very fine distinction. So, when we speak of mathematics, we have numbers, we have equations, we have expressions. So, they are precise. That's why in measurement, it is mathematics. You cannot say, lalo na kapag sa baking, or sa coding, or sa accounting, di ba? Kapag ito yung value na given, dapat ito yung value na yan. Hindi siya pwedeng magbago. Precise siya. It is definite. Okay? It enables us to make a fine distinction. For example, if you are talking about the price of an item, right? So, if it has been given as 100 pesos, then kapag, syempre, sabihin nyo, pwede naman makipagtawaran sa real life. But really, yung kita mo doon, at saka yung pagpapresyo mo doon, marami ka nang kinonsider bago mo sinabi na 100 pesos yung item na yan. 'Di ba? So, it is, and also, we associate quality with price. Sometimes we also think na kung mas mataas ang presyo niyan, therefore, it also brings about that it has good quality or better quality because maybe mas malaki yung ginastos din sa production niyan. Next, concise. So, it is able to say things briefly. A sentence, for example, you would say that uh, a, nu- a number plus another number is equal to another number. So if you write that in words, that would take you a lot of letters to complete, right? Pero kapag nilagay mo siya in mathematical language, that is simply x plus y equals z. So a number plus another number is equal to another number, right? So it allows us to put words into symbols, and then when we put them into symbols, then it enables us to write it briefly and more concise. and it is powerful. It enables us to express complex thoughts with relative cases. Okay, so I'll give you an example. When you get the square root of a negative number, your calculator would say syntax error, or it would give an error. So in mathematical language, so in mathematical symbols, there is no syntax error to be given. Ang ilalagay doon, kapag sa symbols na kayong maglalagay, ang gagamitin nyo na is I. It means imaginary, right? So instead of the square root of -1 is syntax error, you can simply say the square root of -1 is equal to I. Ayan. Right? I. Okay? So, it is powerful kasi yung mga complex ideas na gano'n, nabibigyan siya ng equivalence, nabibigyan siya ng symbols, nabibigyan siya ng variables. Kaya nga, di ba, meron pa tayong tinatawag last week na golden ratio, right? So, may mga ibig sabihin yan, and all of that were quantified using the mathematical language. So, let's have vocabulary versus sentences. So, kapag sa mathematics, just like in the English language, meron din tayong tinatawag na vocabulary. And in the vocabulary, the words that we use can form sentences. So, every language has its vocabulary, these are the words, and its rules for combining these words into complete thoughts, and these are sentences. Mathematics is no exception. As a first step in discussing the mathematical language, we will make a very broad classification between the nouns of mathematics, used to name mathematical objects of interest, and the sentences of mathematics, which state complete mathematical thoughts. Ayan. So, yung mga words na yan, yung vocabulary na yan, sa mathematics, ang tawag na kasi natin dyan ay terms. Pag kinombine natin yung mga words or yung terms, we make phrases. And these phrases are actually what we call as expressions, mathematical expressions. And then, kapag yung mga expressions na yan, you form into a sentence, may complete thought na sinasabi na nga dito, then it already completes the mathematical thought, and this time that is what you call an equation. So, we'll explore more of that here in this lesson. Okay. Pero syempre, let's explore on the importance of mathematical language. Bakit kailangan pang pag-aralan ang tungkol sa mathematical language? So, it is a major contributor to overall comprehension. Just like it is very important for you to be able to read and comprehend before you're actually able to learn other concepts and other subjects. It is also very important for us to comprehend, to understand, to have high level of numeracy. Kasi napakadaming mga subjects din, napakadaming processes din, and also in whatever field that you will be choosing, there for sure there is a mathematical aspect in it. So it is a major contributor for you to be able to comprehend or understand that aspect in your chosen field. Next is, it is vital for the development of mathematics proficiency. So you cannot be proficient in mathematics. You cannot be highly numerate if you do not understand the mathematical language. Okay? And last, it enables both the teacher and the students to communicate mathematical knowledge with precision. Okay? So, if you are able to understand the mathematical language, hindi ako mahihirapan, hindi ka rin mahihirapan when we are talking about the equations, when we are solving the mathematical problems, and so on. And your answers would always be correct and precise. Edi happy tayong lahat. Okay, so let's have some comparison of natural language to mathematical language. So, eto, i-explore natin isa-isa. Anong pinagkaiba kapag English language ka magsasalita, or kapag tinatranslate mo na siya into mathematical language? Okay. So, here are some examples. So, makikita niyo sa first column yung expression, and then sa next column yung English, and then sa last column or third column yung mathematics. So, expression, name given to an object of interest. So, ano ba yung pangalan na binibigay natin to an object of interest? So, that is a noun. Diba? So, it can be any person, place, and things and pronouns. O, diba? English tayo ngayon. So, pwedeng si Ernesto yan. Pwedeng Batangas City. You can use book. And you can also use a pronoun he, she, they, and so on. Pero pag sa mathematics, syempre hindi mag-a-appear dyan yung mga nouns na yan and so on. Sa mathematics, you can use numbers, terms, letters to name your object of interest. If you are talking about specific numbers or values, you can use a number. So, 2. Pag sinabi mo, 3 piraso, edi 3 ang ilalagay mo. Yung 3 piraso, binawasan mo ng 2, edi meron kang 3 minus 2. O, tapos meron kang 3 times a number. So, you have 3x. Then, 3 times a number increased by 2. You have 3x plus 2. And then, kung lahat ay puro variable, parang katulad ng pronoun, hindi specific kung sino yung tinutukoy mo. So, eto yung mga times na gumagamit tayo ng variables. Eto. So, yan, ax plus by plus c. So, these are expressions. As you can see in the expressions, it can just be a number, it can be a number with a variable or a combination ng number and variable with an intervening sign. Ito yung intervening sign natin. It can be a plus. It can also be a minus. And then, pwedeng combination ng tatlo. Pwede pa kaya maglima eh. So, yung sa mga polynomial expressions natin, diba? It can have so many. And you can also have many other symbols to include. Okay? Let's go to the next one. When we talk of sentence, kanina expression, ngayon sentence, it has a complete thought. So, kailangan kumpleto na yung thought niya. Kailan natin sinasabing complete yung thought? So, sa English, we use the group of words that express a statement, a question, or command. So, kanina, Ernesto lang. Dun sa expression, pagdating sa sentence, sinabi mo, Ernesto is a boy. Oh, so that is already a complete thought. He lives in Batangas City. Then, Alan loves to read book. Or you can just say a command, run. Or you can ask, do you love me? O yan. So, those are sentences in English. It can be just a statement. It can be a question or a command. In mathematics, the component that or the symbol that will tell you that it is already a sentence is that when commonly it is when you use this symbol, an equal sign, right? The symbol of equality. It means that the left side has the same value as the right side. So, ang nakalagay dito, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Ayan, di ba? So, clearly, this side is of the same value as the other side of the equation. Okay? Pwede din naman na unknown yung mga values, but you are stating equality still. So, you can say A plus B is equal to C. And then this also is also an equation. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Or, yes, ito pa, polynomials to. The quantity of fx plus y squared is equal to x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Ayan. So, there are also times na hindi rin equal or equality yung ating binibigay, hindi siya equation, pwede rin inequality. So, etong symbol na to, yung equal sign, pwede ka rin gumamit ng ganito, greater than or equal to, or pwede ka rin gumamit ng less than or equal to. Ayan, I'm sure you're familiar with these expressions. Pwede rin less than, pwede rin greater than. It still gives us a complete thought. It gives us a relationship between two expressions. So, it is still acceptable as a sentence, a mathematical sentence. Okay? So let's talk about some symbols that we actually use in mathematics. So these are the commonly used symbols and its meaning and its example. So first, ayan. So hindi ko na siya isa-isahin. You can screenshot this one kasi as we go through in the discussions in the future, mababanggit naman natin siya. So ito na lang yung mga common babanggitin natin. So I hope you are familiar with this. This is for sets and logic. So etong unang symbol is yan. So this first symbol is the symbol for union. It is the union of set A and set B. That is, kung ganito yung gagamitin mo. A union B. Ganun yung pagbabasa niyan. Then, etong symbol naman to, parang nabaliktad na U. So, it means an intersection. Intersection of set A and set B. When you read this, you just say A intersection B. And then this symbol, para siyang E na nakakurba. So this is element. So X is an element of A. That is how you read this. Okay? And kapag may slash, karaniwan naman sa math, kapag may slash, ibig sabihin not. Not an element of. So this is read as X is not an element of set A. Okay, ito yung dalawang braces. It is a set of. So you can say this, a set of A, B, C. Yung elements ng set, yung nandun sa loob ng bracket, ng brace. Tapos yung etong symbol na brace, it means they are part of one set. Okay, next. Ayan, parang letter C na medyo mahaba. Parang magnet lang, di ba? So, that is a subset. So, if you see this symbol, you can say that A is a subset of B. When you have a slash here, so it means not a subset of. So, it becomes A is not a subset of B. So, I hope you're familiar with this. Yan, ginagamit yan noong, parang grade 7 pa lang yata, ginagamit na ang sets. Okay, yan pa. So, more on sets. We have ellipses, conjunctions, disjunctions. Ayan, ito mga yan, oh. Tapos, may negation. Ayan, so, not A. Ganun mo siya basahin. And then, if-then statement. Ayan. So, kapag nag-logic tayo, magagamit natin yung mga yan. If and only if. Ayan, tas for all. Akala nyo mga nabaliktad lang na A, di ba? It means for all X. Ayan. Tapos ito, yung E na nabaliktad. It means there exists an X and so on. Tapos, yung tatlong dot na nagbibigay ng parang triangle, therefore. O, diba? So, familiar ba? Nare-refresh ba yung mga symbols na yan? I hope na yes. No? Okay. Ayan. So, ito pa sa set notation. Basa po dito ay X such that Y. So, yung para siyang parallel line lang, di ba? Parang isang guhit lang na I ang symbol for such that. And then, end proof, yan, equivalence. Yung para siyang equal sign na tatlo yung guhit. Yan. It means A is equivalent to B. Kasi kapag sa set and logic, hindi lang equal sign yung ginagamit. Ayan. Meron pang modulo. Ayan. Ayan. So, next, ito yung sa lowercase. Ayan. Kapag naka-lowercase, it means variable. So, first part of English alphabet uses a fixed variable. Middle part of English alphabet use a subscript and superscript variable. So, subscript. Pag po yung nasa baba, so, katulad po nito. Wait lang. Yan. So, kung titingnan mo dito, di ba yung 0, ayan, nasa baba. So, ang tawag po dyan ay subscript. Okay? Subscript. Okay, yun yun. Subscript. Ito yon. Yan. Kapag naman po nasa taas, ito, yung naging exponent, di ba? Ang tawag naman dyan ay superscript. So, it gives us or it denotes for the exponent. And then, yung mga letters in the alphabet, it means the unknown. So, commonly, ginagamit natin for the unknown is X. Next, basic operations and relational symbols. Okay. So, alam na natin to. Siguro naman, elementary pa lang kayo. Familiar na kayo dito kay plus sign. It means addition. Kay minus sign. It means subtraction. Kay multiplication symbol na dot. Uy, di na natin ginagamit yung x ha as a multiplication symbol kasi gumagamit tayo ng x sa variable. Elementary na lang yung gagamit ng x. Okay? So, you can use dot or you can use parentheses to denote multiplication. Okay? No more use of x for multiplication. X is a variable. It denotes the unknown. Right? And then next, for the division, you can use this symbol, yung line, tapos may dot sa taas at sa baba. Or you can use, eto po, pwede yung slash ang gamitin. So, pwede nyo sabihin 5 divided by 10. Ayan, pwedeng ganyan. Okay? Slash yung gamitin or pwedeng ganyan po. Yung parang line lang na pababa. Parang kanina yun din yung symbol natin sa such that. Next, ito kaya familiar pa kayo, composition of function. So, f of g of x, f composite with g of x. Ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin as the value of x in the function f is the value of g of x. Yan. So, sana familiar pa. Of course, yung ating equal sign here, the unequal symbol, an inequality symbol, greater than, the less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Ayan, binary operation to. Ayan. Okay. Next. Ayan, ito yung sa mga set notations natin. So, natural numbers. Ito po, yung notation natin. It means that the natural numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then, ito, natural numbers without 0. So, as you can see, yung subscript nila, yun yung pinagkakaiba. Ito, 1 na yung nakalagay na subscript. Dito, 0 dun sa una. Kaya dun sa meaning niya, kasama pa yung 0 dun sa una. Pero dito, dahil 1 na lang po dito yung may subscript, so ang starting niya or first element niya is 1. Okay? And then, next, negative 6 is an element of z. Z is the notation that we use or the symbol that we use for the set of integers. And then Q for rational numbers. Ayan. R for real numbers. And C for complex numbers. Okay. So, how do we use these symbols? So, simply, we use them all in translating words into symbols. So, practical problems seldom, if ever, come in equation form. Tama naman, di ba? For how many years in elementary, in high school, na meron kayong mga sinosolve na mga problems, di ba? Yung mga rivers, yung buildings, yung shadows, di ba? Ang dami-dami mga ganong situational problem, pati yung ages, pati yung work. Ayan. So, the job of the problem solver is to translate the problem from phrases and statements into mathematical expressions and equations, and then to solve the equations. So, kapag hindi mo nagawa na i-analyze yung problem ng maayos, then ibig sabihin po nun ay kakailanganin nyo pa pong i-translate siya into mathematical expression. Okay. So, you just have to translate yung mga word problems natin into mathematical expressions and equations. And then, kapag na-translate na natin siya into mathematical expressions and equations, nagamit na natin yung mga symbols na pinag-usapan natin kanina, then, you can solve the equations and therefore, solving the problem in itself. Okay. So, as problem solvers, so you are the problem solvers, our job is made simpler if we are able to translate verbal phrases to mathematical expressions, and if we follow step in solving applied problems. To help us translate from words to symbols, you can also use the mathematics dictionary. So, I think there are some that you can download online. Meron din yatang app yan, I think. So, you can use that. Or, yung atin pinesend kanina, you can save that, save a screenshot of that on your phone para kapag magta-translate ka na, pwede mo siyang gamitin. So, as reference. Pero, yung mga basic sana ay kabisado nyo. Para kapag kakaroon tayo ng problem solving, hindi nyo na kailangan tingnan pa yung mga na-screenshot ninyo, di ba? Okay? So, let's have some examples. Okay? So, we let x be a number. So, all you have to do is translate each phrase or sentence into a mathematical expression or equation. So, when we say a number, when the expression pertains to a number na unknown ha, ang variable na gagamitin natin ay x. Okay? Let's begin. First one. 12 more than a number. So, ano ba ang ating magiging mathematical expression dyan? So, analyze natin. May 12. That is a definite number. And meron tayong a number. Ayan. So, dalawa ang values natin. Isang 12 at isang a number. Yung a number na yan, ang gagamitin natin is x. Okay? Ang sabi, ang operation natin o yung verb ay more than. So, pag sinabing more than, hindi po greater than symbol ang gagamitin ha. Kasi wala nakalagay na is greater than. Kasi pag meron pong is, ibig sabihin, we are using the inequality symbol. Pag more than, all we have to use is the plus. Okay? So, kaya ang sagot ay simpleng 12 plus x. So, 12 more than a number. Okay? Let's have the next one. 8 minus a number. Okay, so what is your guess? Sige nga. Ayan. So, we have 8 and a number. So, definitely, there will be 8 and x. And then, minus daw. So, ano kaya yan? 8 minus x o x minus 8? Ang sagot ay 8 minus x. By verbatim, di ba? Yung minus ay in between 8 and x. Unang muna si 8 bago si x. O, next, number 3. An unknown quantity, less 14. O, Tagalogin natin as we analyze. An unknown quantity, ito yung a number. Binawasan kasi less 14. O, so, how do we translate that in mathematical expression or equation? Simply x minus 14. Diba? O, next, number 4. 6 times a number is 44. O, ay may multiplication. O, bakit na lang ang multiplication? Merong nakalagay times. O, diba? So, 6 times a number is 44. And then, meron ka ngayong is. So, yung is, that is the verb that we use for equality, for equal sign. So, when we translate that in numerical or mathematical expression, it becomes 6x equals 54. So, 6 times a number, that is 6x. Yung is, ito na po yun, yung equal sign. And then, syempre, si 54, 54 pa rin. Okay? Nare-review na ba? Nare-refresh na ang ating mga elementary or high school days? Okay. Good. So, next, 2/9 of a number is 11. 2/9. Oh, ano yung 2/9? Oh, ito pong mga may NTH na yan, ha? Yung mga may pa-TH. Remember, that is a fraction. 2/9. Parang 1/2. 2/3. 3/4. 3/5. Oh. So, that is 2/9 of a number. So, i-multiply mo siya sa x is, is na naman. So, may equal sign. 11. Ayan. Okay. So, your answer would be 2/9 times x is equal to 11. So, if you are writing it on paper, it is better to be clear with it, ha? Okay. So, if you're going to write it on paper, you can say 2. Ay, yung pangit ng sulat ko. Again. Ayan, gamit tayo nito. Hi. So, we'll say 2/9. So, this is 2/9 of a number. 2/9 of x. Yung x po dapat nasa gitna. Kasi ibig sabihin, kukunin mo muna yung value ng 2/9. Ayan. So, i-divide mo muna siya bago mo i-multiply by x. So, ayan. So, 2/9 of x is equal to, or is 11. O kapag nagpe-present kayo ng ng mathematical equation, I hope that I will never hear you say is equals to. No, that is grammatically incorrect. So you can say 2/9 of x is 11, or 2/9 of x is equal to 11 here. Okay, so if you are writing it properly, this is the proper way of writing it. Okay, pag dito kasi, kung titingnan natin ha, nagmumukha na yung x ay part lang ng denominator na 9. So that is actually incorrect. So this is the proper way of writing it. Okay, nawalan lang ng insert equation po. Okay, next. Let's have another example. So, 3 more than 7 times a number is 9 more than 5 times the number. Hala, ang haba na niya. O, analyze muna natin yung unang expression. 3 more than 7 times a number. Ayan, hanggang dun lang. Okay? So, hindi muna natin to isama. Ay. So, 3 more than 7 times a number. Ano kaya yan kapag kapag tayo ay magsasagot na? So, that is 3 plus, kasi more than, 7 times a number, so 7x. And then, yung kasunod niya, doon na tayo mag-focus, is 9 more than 5 times the number. So, that will be 9 plus, kasi more than, then 5 times the number, so 5x yun. So, the answer will be 3 plus 7x equals 9 plus 5x. Okay? Questions? You can type in your questions in the chat box so we can discuss it. Okay? Next number. Twice a number less 8 is equal to more than 3 times the number. Yeah, so again, you have two expressions, and then merong nakalagay is equal to, so this is an equation. So, what was the answer? So, you can have 2x minus 8, that is twice a number less 8, is equal to 1 more than 3 times the number. 1 more than 3 times the number is 3x plus 1, or pwede rin ito, 1 plus 3x. Pareho naman ang value yan kasi sa addition, pwede tayong magpalit ng order ng terms. Pero kung ako ang papipiliin, it is better since translation lang to, hindi pa tayo nagkakaroon ng simplifying ng mga expressions and terms, this would be the better answer. As in, kung ano yung order ng pagkakasabi doon sa expression, yun din yung susundin natin. So, twice a number less 8 is equal to 1 more than 3 times the number. Okay? Okay, that's good. So if you don't have any more questions, then we are now going to move on to your activity. But if you do have a question, you can type it here in the chat box so that we can discuss it. Okay? But for now, para ma-check natin kaagad if you are able to understand the topic, I am giving you 15 minutes to answer this activity. You can write your answers on a piece of paper, your yellow paper. Please write legibly, yung naiintindihan, yung malinaw, walang masyadong bura-bura. You are already college students, please show that you have thought of your answers really well before you actually wrote it down. Okay? So, take a picture of your answers and you're going to upload it in our Google Classroom for the Module 2 topic activity 2. Okay? So, 15 minutes starts now.